Any specific classes like knights?
Oh yeah,
I don't know,
let's talk about
archers.
it. So the way the classes work in RavenQuest is you have all these different. I don't even are these classes archetypes. Archetypes. So
Mm.
there's archery, holy, protection, shadow, spiritual, warfare, and
Jesus.
witchcraft and wizardry. And you can combine these in any combination of three, and then that determines your class. So my main class is warfare, shadow, witchcraft, which is
Hmm.
Nightblade. But if I switch to this random one. If I go wizardry, spiritual, holy, I'm sage. If
Oh.
I go, let's say, wizardry, holy, and shadow, I don't know anyone who's ever done this, but I'm sure someone has. Let's say wizardry, holy, and shadow. I'm a necromancer. Um,
Oh.
so if I go like wizardry, let's see, uh, let's do shadow, or let's do wizardry, holy, and protection. You're warden. So that's how classes work in general. It's just like a combination of your three archetypes.
Hmm.
And so you can mix and match these kind of however you want. I'll just cover my own build because, it's the build that I use and the one I can
Hmm.
talk about. I have witchcraft, which is like curses and dots and stuff like that. Shadow, which is like your assassin class. I think Shadow is really strong right now, both in PvE and PvP. It's got like the strongest um, how do I say like damage skills. So like actual executes and just like damaging skills. But if I come
Hmm.
here, I normally normal combo, I'll throw some dot on them. And when I have them with this dot, I actually get some extra life steal when I
Oh,
attack
what
them.
the
And
hell?
then yeah, so this is a shield break. It reduces their armor. This is like a life steal ability I can activate. This is a
Mhm.
curse. This is leech. This is stock, which is like teleports behind them. I have this eternal war. Oops, sorry. I have this eternal worms, which actually steals their attack power. And yeah, just a bunch of different stuff here. Um, so the main like purpose of my class, the witchcraft, just gives me
Mhm.
some supporting things and extra life steal. And then the shadow is just like damage, and warfare is like sustain and also some auto attack damage. So that's kind of how my build works. But you can, yeah, any combination of these. I'm not too familiar with the mages or any like with the archers, but there's people I've seen people running all sorts of different classes. And in fact, it's like almost every day I see like a top player that's running something slightly different.
Mhm.
So while there are definitely some things that are meta, like there's a class. Let's see if I don't think this is it. Um, I'm not gonna switch to that. I know I met someone recently who's running Soul Blade, who's absolutely killing it, and it's like a little off meta of the build. But there's some meta builds and there's some non-meta builds, and I've seen meta archery builds. I've seen meta mage builds. I cannot say like honestly, you're gonna have to experiment a little bit. You can go
Yeah.
look at other people's builds and like start there, but have a little bit of fun because I have seen some like unique builds pop off.
Yeah.
So I think if you do it right and you learned your like rotations and you figure out a build that works for you, you're fine and you can do whatever.
Okay, so can you remind me again? How do you start with that free to was it free to play player that you were telling me about that he just bought a land for right for the pass and he just remained
So
free to
he
play?
bought Patron is the only thing he bought. So he's almost
Patron.
free to play. Um, if you get a land, you get free Patron, so you don't have to buy it. But Patron is like their premium subscription. Let me see if I think you can see it here. Okay, here it is. So let's do the math here because I'm capable of that.
I'm thinking
So
about
I can
going
tell you.
this route
Yeah,
just to
this would
see.
be yeah if you're just trying to dip your toes in, or
Yeah.
if you're like not ready to buy a land. This is like the one thing that you want to do to make sure that you're still ahead is get Patron.
Mm-hmm.
The benefits of Patron are faster effort regeneration, so you get 2 times effort regeneration. You get extra rewards at certain like level checkpoints. So every like 5 levels you get rewards, and if you get Patron, you get a little bit more. You get a free reroll of your adventurer board, which is that's where your dailies are. You want to unlock that for a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
that one of my lights just went out. May have a battery powered one, so they may have run out. These are your dailies. If you hit Control B, you'll see these. You want to unlock these to like level 20 or something like that. But this is like no matter what, make sure you do your dailies every day. They give crap ton of experience, and they give a bunch of other stuff that is really useful. So just the random activities, you kind of have to like roll them. So like
Hmm.
I have mining. I don't mind mining. I'll do mining. Let's see. Are rifts open? Rifts are not open for another 49 minutes, but maybe I'll be able to do those. So I'll accept rifts. I don't really want to do crafting, so I can re-roll. Perfect. Hunting. So these are just like random activities. You
Oh.
get one re-roll if you get patron, but if not, you just have to do them. Um, and these are really make sure you're doing these. Zard wasn't doing these, and I had to catch him on it because this is like huge experience.
Yeah.
And then you also get this on top of that, when you do these, this is like
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest things actually. Yeah, let me do just like a full section covering this adventure report because it's
Mm-hmm.
really important. You get these buffs. So the Harmonious Spirit gives you a 20% buff to all gathering things. So farming is gathering, fishing is gathering, wood cutting is gathering, anything that's like you gathering a resource, you get a buff. So you get a 20% bonus buff for it's like 10,000 experience points or something like that. And it scales for your level, so I don't know exactly what it is at the lower levels. But you get it for the next 10,000 experience you gain, you get a buff. And then there's a crafting one, Diligent Spirit, and then there's a like monster slaying one. And this one is the biggest one. Adventuring Spirit is Adventuring Spirit is a buff that provides 100% bonus. So double XP to base experience gain from hunting creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing you can do that a lot of people like miss when you start playing is you can select which one gives you which buff. Why is this important? Because you see this one is hunting 60,000 experience from killing creatures. So I can do this if you have the buff on, you do this faster. So I don't want to select the monster hunting buff on this one. I would want to select the monster hunting buff on probably one of the other ones, whichever one I can do faster. And then I would have the monster hunting buff when I go to do the 60,000 experience hunting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
But
you
there's
get the
only
buff.
daily. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
To,
Finish.
no. What was your question?
Oh, just there's daily, right? There's no weekly quests also.
No. Just daily.
Or month. Okay.
And those give experience. They're going to give weapon XP when you're at lower levels. They're going to give these buffs, which are massive.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also one of the quickest ways to get fame. So every day, make sure you do your dailies. You get like, let's see, I think it's 100 per, and then like 150 extra when you do all three. So it's like 300, 450 fame just for doing your dailies, and they're huge. So when you unlock them, make sure you're doing them every day. Um, but let's go into Patron and let's see how much it costs, so I can give you an actual number here.
Because I'm thinking about buying the land, but most players that start, they're not obviously going to be jumping into getting the land. So
Yeah.
the
So
easiest way
kind
for
of
them.
so in game here, you can come to the monk shop. I think. Okay, you can buy it with Quest.
Yeah.
Let's see what the price is here with Quest. So you can get Quest on Token Trove, and then you can also just like buy it with Raven coins, which is like they're just like not cryptocurrency, just Web2 currency. Let's see how much it is with like for this patron, because this is probably where I don't know if you want to do like the 360 days, but let's see how much. It's obviously going to be the cheapest one. So
Yeah. What is that? Oh,
uh,
in Quest, right?
$36. You get 6,300 Raven coins, which is enough for this patron. Plus, you have a little bit left over. So it's like $3 a month if you get the whole year. Plus, you'll have a little bit more stuff. You'll have a little bit patron left. Or you'll have a little bit of these coins left.
Oh,
So
for 5,200. Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. So it's less than $3 a month to get the patron for a year.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the biggest. Like, if you have this, like I said, you will be right neck and neck with pay to win players. So
That's crazy.
it is
Oh
crazy, right?
wow.
Isn't That's pretty friendly? Like, as far as
Yeah.
like your in-game activities, right? Like, you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have land, so you're not making like a tons of crops to sell. But
True.
as far as like your in-game activities, if you're in a guild and you have patron, you're gonna be, and you're just grinding out, you're gonna be neck and neck with a lot of pay to win players.
Okay. And this would be the more practical side for say free to play for free to play players. But if I wanted to buy a land, I don't need
Mhm.
this, right? Or I should
Correct.
still get this. Oh, okay.
If you own land, you just get this.
Okay.
I wonder how much it is with Quest. Is that at a discount? Let's try and do the math.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bug 64 and tell him to let me join the guild.
You're in. You're in already. If you want to join, you're in. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, just make sure because this guy does.
You're in.
I try to
You're
message
in.
him and I'm.
You're in. Okay. You're
Yeah.
already in. Okay. You want to
Is
join the
there
guild?
is there a level cap on this game, or
Um,
level 15 and that's it?
it's such a grind. No, it keeps going. Like, it just keeps going.
Does it
I'm level
restart ever?
66. There is a reset on your like your class level. I
Mm.
think at 76, but I don't think anyone's gotten there yet, and we're like 2 months into the game. So, and there's people who
Oh,
have been grinding this like around the clock. So
Jesus.
it takes a long time to get there. So don't even worry about it for a while. And then there's
And
two
then,
levels.
yeah.
One important thing to note here in your classes, you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like
Yeah, I can see
my
it.
shadow, warfare, and witchcraft are our 63, 63, 61. So you actually
Mhm.
level up the archetypes here. Um,
Just
the
by using
reason
them?
you, yeah, just by
Okay.
having them equipped while you're doing anything.
Oh,
So
okay.
like if I wanted to level up holy, I could just switch to holy and go farm. And because when you're farming, you're gaining XP. And then I'll level up my holy. The reason you want to
Oh.
level up other archetypes, even the ones you don't use,
Mm.
is every 10 levels into another archetype, you get a bonus skill point you can use in any of the archetypes.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so as you're leveling them up, you get skill points in them, but also when you level up like the other ones, every 10 levels, you get an extra skill point. So, these are 61, 63, 63. So I get like a bunch of skill points from these, but then I
Mm-hmm.
get an extra 3 from wizardry. I get an extra 3 from spiritual. I get an extra, 4 from protection, 2 from holy, and 5 from archery, which I can spend here.
Mm-hmm.
So in general, I would say a good rule of thumb to follow is, especially early on, up to like level 30,
Yeah.
is get your main ones. Like, I would say get your main ones up to, once you get your main ones up to 20, go back and fill in the other ones up to 10. Once you get your main ones up to 30, go
Mm-hmm.
back and fill the other ones up to 20. And once you get your main ones
Oh.
up to 40 or 50, then go back and fill the other ones up to 30. It's a lot quicker
Uh-huh.
to go back and fill the other ones because you'll get like more during your dailies.
Uh-huh.
And my recommendation is don't swap to the class and go farm, like go hunt monsters. Just swap to the class, and right before you claim, so once I finish these, I'll
Mm-hmm.
be able to claim them. Right before you claim, swap to those classes, and then this experience will be applied to those classes. Um,
Oh, okay.
or when you're gonna go farm, swap to those classes and just like level them while you're farming. That way you don't have to actually like go and change the way you farm monsters or anything. Just go level them up while you're doing non-combat activities.
Okay.
And then there's adventure or legacy level, which is just like kind of your overall level. So I'm level 66,
Uh-huh.
um, legacy
Jeez.
level, but I'm level 62 on my combat effective level because that's the level of my classes.
Huh.
So
And you've been
That's
playing since what? To the start of it?
yeah, since the start of it. But honestly, sir, don't even think about it. Don't even worry about it. This is a game that's going to be here for 5 years. So starting this game 2 months in is like, you know, imagine saying you started WoW 2 months into WoW. Like,
Yeah.
that's like you're still so early. It doesn't matter. Like, no one will be like, oh, you started 2 months. You weren't there. You weren't there the first month. Like,
They weren't the OG.
yeah, you're not an OG. You weren't there day one. Like, no one is ever gonna tell you that. So go ahead. You're still so early. I've seen people be like, "Oh, am I too late?" Because a
Yeah, I
lot of
know.
times in Web3, if you're 2 months there, you're
True.
too late.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
It's
that's
true.
not the case for this game. If you didn't know, RavenQuest was a Web2 game for almost a decade. Um, so it was Raven Dawn
You
is the
guys already
Web2
told me that.
version, which
Mm-hmm.
is still fully supported, and that game has been out for almost a decade. So, and the content is almost exactly the same. They've obviously, you know, as they've gotten more money and as
Mm-hmm.
they're also like just building out the Web3 portion of it, have kept adding to the game and like tweaking things here and there. But it's a Web2 MMO first and foremost. So it, feels like that. And, despite me playing this entire time, there's sections of the map which I have not touched.
Mm-hmm.
This whole Frost Steps area, I have not touched almost at all. So there's, I'm sure, quests and stuff in here that I'll eventually unlock. Elder Coast, same story. I've like been in here to hunt some mobs, but I haven't done anything here. Fields of Despair. I'm in the middle of one quest here, but there's more here. The Blotch, this section of Hatterack, even though my plot's there, I haven't interacted with much. Um, you know, certain sections of Glaceford, like even though I've been playing this whole time, I have not gotten through all the quests. I have not gotten through anything, so there's still so much more for me to do. And this whole section is a whole new section of the map that they're working on. So this will be like completely new content.
Oh,
There's already people I think there with plots, if I'm not mistaken.
damn.
Um, but yeah, you can go over here and hang out. But this will be like a whole nother section. So they're adding content. They're updating this game literally multiple times a week. They're adding something or tweaking something.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to go, and they're constantly building, and the team is really good. Um, and they're very communicative and supportive of their creators. If you go on my Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
here, fuck it, I'll pull it up on stream. I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid to show my own content.
Yeah,
If
that's
I'm
what
not showing it, who
that was
is?
that was something else I was gonna ask. Since all these games, all these recent Red 3 games have been going under, what's making you so confident in this game? And 64 just posted something about RavenQuest and Maple Story. Like, why feel confident to maybe overspend or spend anything on this game since
Mhm.
what we've been seeing lately? And it's
They
because
have. You can see, like, you can
yeah.
see real players, real streamers, a real community. I think there's still so much progress to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they haven't even really done any marketing efforts. I know people like to say that in Web3 a lot, but they have not, and they already
Mm-hmm.
have a very strong foundation. Um, so you can see just like it has a lot of content. I'm hooked on it. I know a lot of people who are hooked on it and making content. And genuinely, if you meet the team or talk to them, you'll see the like kind of everything that they're doing. And it has the foundation to be, a 10-year game, genuinely. They've already been a 10-year game, so they're more likely to make it another
Yeah.
10. So
You made me worried when you said 5 years, and I'm like, what? Why you say 5 years?
no, no.
I was like,
And then
it's
just saying 5 years from now, people are
yeah,
not gonna care, that you were
yeah.
there month two versus day one.
Oh, okay. I was
They're
like,
gonna say
damn.
that you were there from the start, essentially.
Uh,
They have a system. So two of
mhm,
my posts recently have been boosted by
mhm.
the RavenQuest thing because they have like an engage bot, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So this post, 91 fucking
Mhm.
retweets and 96 comments. That's because the RavenQuest team put it in their engage quest.
Oh, nice.
Same thing with this guy, 1.5K impressions, little short I made. Also boosted by the RavenQuest team. So
Oh, I like
this
when they
is
do that.
Yeah, my Twitter full of RavenQuest content lately. A little bit of Maple Story stuff.
That's the main
Right now,
the game that you've been focusing on is RavenQuest, right? Mainly.
yes. Right
Okay.
now, that's pretty much all. I'm still keeping my eye out, but I'm pretty locked into RavenQuest right now. Let's see. Dude, it's crazy when they because the engage quests
Mm-hmm.
like boost your or because people when they do the engage quest, it just like sends them directly there and then they immediately interact with the post.
Mm-hmm.
Your engagement rate shoots through the roof. This is a really important metric to track on Twitter, your
Yeah.
engagement rate. And normally mine honestly anything above 2 to 3% is great. And
Yeah.
normally mine sits anywhere between like 3 and 8%, depending on what I've been posting lately. But now you
Mm-hmm.
can see because freaking like um, just how much they've been like because of the boost,
Yeah.
my engagement rate goes through the roof to 19%, which is nuts.
Well, there you go, man. Keep it up, right? The
Yeah,
main thing
yeah,
about to get tagged by them, right? Or
yeah, yeah. Boosted.
let's see. Okay, so I know you mentioned that. So how I guess the main question for me once I start and I can figure out how to actually stream it. What's
Yeah,
my main focus when I'm starting? What am I going to be doing first? What should I work on first?
the
Uh,
first thing you should do, pretty much without any like, don't even stop and look back.
mhm,
You can definitely like farm your community land, and
mhm,
once you get your dailies, make sure you're doing your dailies.
mhm,
But other than that, just try and follow the main quest line
mhm.
until the point where you get a ship. And honestly, that's going to be your probably first 15 hours of the gameplay.
Okay.
It's just you following the main quest line. You're gonna be leveling up. You're gonna be introduced to different things. Just keep going until you finally unlock the ship. Once you've unlocked the ship, then you've unlocked pretty much the whole map.
Mm.
You can then do whatever. So until then, just work until you unlock the ship. And I did it in like one stretch when the game launched. But yeah, it took me like 15 hours. So um,
Oh.
it'll it'll be what you want to do. It just takes a while. You're
Um.
just going through the main quest, doing a bunch of quests, you're getting introduced to the world. And I think at level 20, you get your adventure board, or 15. So once you get that, do your dailies, farm your potatoes, because you'll have no choice when you first start.
Mhm.
Potatoes are like a 5x on your silver. So you'll earn 5 times as much selling them as you would, like, as you do to plant them, but they take every hour. Um, my crop recommendations for your plot,
Mhm.
just in general, because they're always profitable. Do potatoes until you get carrots, and then do probably carrots until you get blueberries. I would say follow that, and you'll be just fine. Like, let's see what levels they are. Just I'm not telling you anything that's super disconnected. Yeah, you can do potatoes.
Mhm.
Uh, if you want, like, if you say you're gonna sign off for a while,
Yeah.
or you're not gonna come back for a while, you can do corn because that's uh, takes 15 hours to do corn. But corn is also like much more expensive to plant, so you may not have the funds at first.
Yeah.
But do potatoes while you're building up your funds. Do corn if you're waiting for a while. Once you unlock carrots at level 10, which you'll get there relatively quick, you can start doing carrots. And then once you unlock blueberries at
Mm.
level 17, you can do blueberries for blueberries are like the sweet spot where it's like 6 hours. So it's
Mhm.
not like you have to come back there all the time. And they're always really profitable. You never have to worry about like not making money on blueberries. And they don't cost too much to plant. So you might be struggling for silver at the beginning.
Mhm.
And so I would do blueberries. I've actually thought of like, going back and potentially doing like a free to play account, like what I would do.
Oh. Yeah, you should do that. A
Uh,
little series on that.
you think so?
Yeah. Hell yeah, you should.
Well, I've thought about it,
Yeah.
and uh, what I would do if, like, other than planting potatoes and do that, like, progression I'm talking about, so
Mhm.
corn for longer, whatever, just to get quick cash at first, um, do woodcutting. There's no barrier to entry on woodcutting. You don't need any level. Everyone pretty much. There's like a couple skills you unlock in the tree that slightly, like very slightly, increase your profitability while you're woodcutting. But I would say
Mm-hmm.
just go cut. Like you can always fish,
Yeah.
um, but I think complete beginner, no skills, no anything, not worried about PvP. Go cut trees. Go cut trees for a couple hours. You'll make like 50 to 100k silver, and that'll be a great place to like now you can plant some shit without thinking about it. So go cut trees for an hour or two. You'll get your bag. Just sell those logs,
Yeah.
and then you can go from there. Yeah, that's probably the quickest way, like right off the bat. The best place to cut trees when you first start.
Mhm.
I guess there's mobs here that'll kill you when you very first start.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about the mobs. In all these different areas, there must be higher levels, right? Like some are easier, some are harder, right?
So on the map, you can actually see, you know, what it tells you exactly what level mobs are like in that area. So this is 6 to
Oh.
32, but the 32 ones are underground. So really you're gonna get like level 6 to 8 stuff here,
Uh-huh.
7 to 10 here, 7 to 10
Oh, that's so
here,
cool. I never
8 to
seen that.
11, 13 to 15, 12 to 55. When you see like usually like a large gap like this, 12 to 55, it
Yeah.
usually means that the big mobs are underground.
Oh, okay.
Um, so if you're like passing through, you're probably going to see the lower range of that. And then eventually you'll make your way over to the kind of the progression of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna start the story, and you're gonna end up after the tutorial. You're gonna end up in RavenQuest.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of missions and stuff to do at first, and honestly, you'll probably be able to. There's trees all along here. There's trees all along here. You can start just cutting trees in these kind of low level areas. Try and really like just like be quick and efficient about cutting the trees because that's how you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna make your 50k silver an hour. If you
Ooh.
do that. But that's how I would secure my first bag. Don't even worry about crafting necessarily.
Yeah.
It's just like it takes a little bit, takes some time. You get experience from crafting, which is great. But just to get your first bag of silver at least, just cut some trees
Yeah.
and sell that. And so yeah, you're gonna progress. There's gonna be story missions all around here, and then you're gonna have some story missions in this area. And then eventually you're gonna have a story mission in this area in the mountains. And then you're gonna come back and you're gonna do a little stuff and you're gonna get your ship. And that's probably gonna be your first 15 hours.
Ooh.
So yeah, this is like kind of the starting area. You're gonna be in Rona Woods, Ravencrest, Glademeyer, a little bit over here in Riverend. And then you're gonna be going to Sejeko Island once you get your ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna tell you. This is one thing that like I don't know why they do this. It's gonna tell you need to be level 25 to come to here, Sejeko. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to be. Just some of the mobs are kind of like level 27, whatever. So once you get your ship, you can just sail right over here, no problems, and you can land here. There's
Okay.
these respawn shrines or the teleport points. Some of them are level gated, so like
Oh,
I don't
let's see.
I don't think you can teleport over here maybe until level 25. You can just sail over. If you want to experiment with fishing, you can go fish, but like I said, that costs labor, so
Yeah.
it's probably not the best thing to do when you're first starting. I would probably recommend just cutting trees because I think you actually earn labor when you cut trees,
Mm-hmm.
technically, because it's the overworld activity that doesn't require labor. And yeah, you'll go to Sejeko, then eventually you'll go to Harbor. Like this is like so this is like your first 15 hours. This is probably honestly your next 15 hours. This is like next 15 hours, 20 hours. There's a lot of content on just these little islands. So you'll slowly be kind of progressing through the story. Then once you do Harbor Island, you can kind of come over here to Zephyr Vale. I actually have not touched Zephyr Vale, despite it being kind of like in the progression of the story. Zephyr Vale and Hatterack Desert kind of open up around the same levels. So I went through Hatterack Desert and kind of skipped Zephyr Vale. And then once you get high enough there, you'll be progressing to like Gilead. There's some grindy things you have to do in Gilead and Glaceford, just like the snow area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of just like finishing. Oh, and Forsaken Mountains, which is like a vampire area. Those all kind of come online around the same time. You get the quest around the same time, so just choose your own adventure. And now I'm just starting to get into like these other areas, Elder Coast and Fields of Despair. But I've played, hundreds of hours.
Is there a max on the teams like when you're going out
In a party,
in a party? Yeah, there you
uh,
go.
the max is 6 in a party.
6? Wow, I've never
Yeah,
seen that.
yeah.
Okay.
So 6 people in a party, but you don't even need to be in a party. You could have 10 people pull up on something,
Mm-hmm.
and just not be in a party. Just being in a party just like splits the XP. There's certain
Oh.
bosses in this game that require like 15 people. Um,
Oh shoot.
and those are just like regular world bosses. Those aren't like raid bosses or anything like that. They're just like
Mm-hmm.
kind of quest or story bosses you can go do that require like 10, 15 people to go do.
But other people
Um,
can kill you while you're doing that, or only PvP is
uh,
open for when it's wartime.
yeah. So in general, like all the areas can turn into conflict zones.
Oh.
Um, at certain times, and it's just like indicated by these little doves. The beginner areas, like, there's really no reason for people to kill you if you're not carrying a trade pack or anything like that. Like, it's just like people, for the most part, I would say are not going to kill you for no reason. Okay.
Like someone can
The
attack you now.
I'm in peacetime here in this area as
Oh,
well,
okay,
so
okay.
all this peacetime. But if I was in Elder Coast, or if I was in, okay, there's not a lot of conflict. But if I was in this area, someone could just come up to me and kill me. They don't get
Uh,
anything for killing you, so there's usually a reason. Like, no promises, but there's usually a reason why people kill you. It's either you're carrying a trade pack, or if you're carrying fish,
mm-hmm.
they can kill you and take your fish. Other reasons
Jeez.
people might kill you is because you're in their farming area. So like if they're farming mobs, and like they you're also there and it's conflict and they don't want to deal with you like taking the respawn timers, whatever, they might do that. But you're not gonna run into that very early
Yeah.
on. Like that's like more late game stuff.
And then the
Um,
water's open for PvP.
the water's always PvP. Anyone
Okay.
can get it on the water at any time.
That's
But the
crazy.
only reason people are not going to kill you for the most part if you're not messing with them, or if you're not carrying a trade pack or carrying fish. But if you are carrying fish or carrying a trade pack, I would be cautious.
But like you
um,
said, if there's like 15 people or whatever attacking a boss, wouldn't that be
mhm.
open PvP also, so they can kill you and kill the boss? There's only one, right?
So
At a
it's
time.
not it's it's shared loot. And usually the bosses are actually considered like those 15 people bosses they're considered dynamic events. So
Uh,
everyone kind of shares whatever you get there. But if it's not conflict, they still can't kill you. Like you can do those in peacetime. But like usually people
uh,
they're not gonna kill you when you're doing the boss with them because they need you. Like
yeah.
it's not like one person gets everything. Like you just split it, which doesn't work in games.
One person. I don't know,
Yeah.
right? Shoot.
Um, so yeah.
Uh, yeah. Just I guess. Is there anything else? I guess before we close it out, I just want to make sure. I know we hit a lot, but is there anything
Yeah.
else? Any other tips or last words that you want to say, just in
Um,
case?
Here's a little tip. This blue thing, it when it's in peacetime, it's blue. This text up here, so you can just like not open up the map. You can
Oh,
just
cool.
see like it's peacetime. If it's
Mhm.
orange, it's conflict, and then if it's red, it's like a war zone.
Mhm.
Uh, all the areas you're going to be interacting with for like that first, they changed it, so all the areas that you'll be interacting with are not going to be war zone. There'll be conflict. The difference between conflict and war zone is that conflict, they can kill you, but they have like an infamy system. So they get a
Mhm.
lot of infamy if they kill you in a conflict zone. In a war zone, they get significantly less infamy when they kill you. So it's like you're there's less drawback to just killing random players in a war zone.
Mhm.
We'll talk real quick on the skills here.
Yeah.
We didn't really touch on crafting. Crafting, for the most part, is a money sink.
Mhm.
But it is a good way to gain XP. if you're really like crunching the numbers on the stuff on the market and then like looking at how much you'll make by crafting it, you'll usually be able to find something that's profitable. But it's not something you can do at scale typically. It's like, okay, I see small logs have gone down a little bit. I can buy up, the 50 small logs that are under the certain, you know, point, turn them
Mm-hmm.
into planks, and I'll make profit there. It's usually like small arbitrage opportunities.
Yeah.
Because what you have to consider, and people forget, because I've heard people be like, "Oh, it's profitable to do this." I'm like, did you calculate the fact that there's a crafting tax?
Mm-hmm.
Did you calculate the fact that there's a 3% listing fee? And once they do that, they're like, "Oh, no, never mind. It's not profitable." So there's a little, I think 3% tax or 5% tax on your silver whenever you sell something on the marketplace. And then whenever you craft something, you pay a little tax to craft it.
Oh, listing that
And
there's a tax, you said?
yes, listing, and there's a little
Tax.
tax when you list it, and then when you sell it,
When you
there's
sell
a
it, yeah.
small tax as well. So I think it's like
Um,
2 and then 3%. So you
okay.
can't just like list, unlist, list, unlist, list, unlist. You can't do that.
Oh,
You
that's
can't play the
smart.
market. Yeah.
No.
So every time you do it, you pay a little bit. But yeah, so just because of that, when you're like looking at stuff and trying to maybe calculate, oh, it's profitable to make copper ingots, make sure you're accounting the tax to craft it, and make sure you're accounting the tax to list it. Because usually, once you do that, it's like at best net zero or very small profit margins. So yeah, professions, crafting, good for XP, bad for money. It's one of the easiest ways to turn money into XP, I would say, is crafting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Trade packs, adventure board. Oh, let's cover the Rangers company board.
Oh, okay, okay.
So there's this Rangers company board. I think you unlock this at like level 20 or something. And you have to go to like the Rangers company areas, and then there's just like these mobs you can kill, and it's just like, I don't even want to say a side mission. It's just the Rangers company board where like
They
you
put a
pick,
bounty on these things?
yeah, you go like, it's like go kill
Oh.
100,000 experience by killing Elder. And this is important to grind because there's certain equipment, certain rings and amulets that are like some of the best in the game, like this Evil Eye ring and this Sigil of Fortitude. You can only get these by grinding these and then eventually being able to unlock them. Um,
Oh.
and you get these bounty marks as well, which are used for purchasing some pretty unique and exclusive items. So it's like a little side quest thing
Mm-hmm.
that you do, and you get prestige points, which levels up like your Rangers company thing, which unlocks more things to purchase with your bounty mark. So I would say this is like, if you are kind of done with all your stuff for the day, you
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like questing, you can come in here. These will all be matched in general. It's not very good, especially at the high levels.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it'll recommend something that's like kind of too hard for me, or it'll recommend stuff that's way too easy. But that's just like, I experience that more at higher levels than at lower levels.
Mm-hmm.
So just come in here, you'll accept it, you go kill these guys, and you get these bounty marks. It's a good way to grind, gives you something to do, a little extra reward. And you will have to do it to unlock a certain piece of equipment that you can only get through there.
Oh. And that's daily? Or is that everyone
So
gets the
it's
same
just,
ones?
so the way it works is there's 10 charges that replenish. They replenish, I guess, with Patron every 3 hours. Maybe without
Mm-hmm.
Patron, it's like 6 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you like doing this 100,000 killing Elderwoods probably takes like 20 minutes. So if you're really fast, you can go through like, or if you really dedicate it, or you're like one of those people that sit on here 24/7, you can go through these 10 charges. But for the most part, you're not gonna be doing like a million experience in these Rangers company boards. But that's how it works. They recharge every 3 hours. You're not gonna be running into like running out of those unless you're really grinding it out, or you're doing like the low experience ones. But if you do these high experience ones, you're not gonna be running out of charges. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, I like
And
that they added that though.
yeah, there's a PvP that you unlock at like level 30 or 35. I'm not very good at PvP, but even
Mhm.
if you're not very good like me, I would recommend running PvP. One, to get better, and then also, oh, this isn't my house. One, to get better, and then two, to like the rewards are really good if you
Yeah.
can be good and win consistently. It's really rough in there. Like there's a lot of sweats in there, and it's really hard. So if you're like me and you're just like really fucking bad at PvP and you just like cannot win for the life of you, like I have like a 10% win rate. You can just run in there and go kill the mobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's mobs in there that give quite a bit of experience. So I'll just run in there and kill the mobs. Occasionally I've won just because the other guy dies to mobs. That's like very rare,
Understood.
but it does
Yeah.
happen. So
Oh, for
just
the
go in there,
rifts.
kill some, yeah, go in there, kill some
Oh.
mobs, like get some practice in. I have to like rechange everything and relearn it because I have not been able to figure it out yet. So I'm still working on that. I'm just going through this board, making sure I didn't forget anything. Reputation. Oh, this is a reputation system.
Mm-hmm.
One another beginner tip is talk to every NPC you run into when you get into a new area. Just run around, talk to every NPC. When you're doing that, you'll see these kind of choices pop up, and this is the only thing that matters for your dialogue options. You'll see like a red option, a green option, or a yellow option pop up. In general, it does not matter which you pick. And right now, this really doesn't matter because there's no system where this matters yet. But eventually, the like type of dialogue option you pick is going to matter. So you see, I've always picked the yellow dialogue option, which is like your neutral or anti-hero option. I've probably accidentally clicked the like evil option a few times and the good option a few times, and that's why you see like the different like rep points into those. But right now, this doesn't really matter. It will eventually, they say, matter, but it doesn't. So I would say, when you're clicking your dialogue options, always try to click the same one. That way, I don't know, you get deeper into one. So if you would like the hero option, you can do that. If you like the villain option, you'll just like say some snarky remark if you're the villain. In the anti-hero,
Oh.
you'll say like, some neutral response, and then the good one will always be like knight in shining armor response. So pick whichever one you want, and just stick to it in general. But that's like there's no thing right now that it affects. But these reputation points,
Mm-hmm.
why you want to be talking to the NPC and doing quest, are
Yeah.
really valuable. So personally, the ones that I like to run, and I'm a little different in this because I don't literally I haven't seen almost anyone run these. But I really like having a fast MOA and being able to go around the map really fast. So I'm like one of the fastest people in the game
Mm-hmm.
because I am one of the only people who picks the Swift Rider option, which increases the speed of your MOA by 5 or 10%.
Which is your mount that you're riding right now, right?
Yeah, which is my
Okay.
mount. So the reason other people don't pick it is because in this row specifically, there's a lot of really good things.
Mm-hmm.
So the MOA one is competing with increase experience from creatures, increase experience from land activities, increase experience received by crafting, increase the drop rate of items, which is the other one I have here, increase silver drops from creatures by 3%. So there's a lot of good things in this row. So a lot of people don't go with this one. I also have ship speed, which I don't know how I feel about that. They may change that.
But
And then this row is also really valuable.
uh-huh.
It's like increase the value of your trade packs, increase the value of fish, increase the value of creature products. I have creature products because I like to kill mobs. But yeah, just pick whichever one you'd like. And then after the fourth row, they essentially just like repeat. So the fourth row is like some PvP options that you can pick from. I have increased the stats for remaining off having weapon by 5%. I'd say most people go with that, but they have like some really interesting one, like increase the movement speed by 10% when carrying a trade pack on foot and things like that. But you unlock these reputation points by doing quests and just
Mm-hmm.
talking to NPCs that have a special dialogue option. So every time you click one of those dialogue options, you gain a little bit of rep points. And
Aren't you knocked off your mount if you're attacked by PvP or a mob?
you are not immediately,
Oh.
but there's like a percentage chance for you to get knocked off or something like that.
Mm.
And then you can decrease that by increasing the there's boarding for
Wow.
your Moa. So I have the artisan boarding, which I don't know, it's like tier 4, I think. I'm not even sure. But with this boarding, I can run through almost all mob areas, especially with how fast I am, and I don't get knocked off. So
Those are the only amounts, right? Just these MOAs?
say what do you? Yes, the Moas are
Yeah,
the only
the
ones.
amounts. Yeah, there's nothing else, right?
But honestly, when your first Moa that you get will be only slightly faster than like walking.
Oh, okay.
And that's when you're feeding it. So you have to feed it like every once in a while.
Oh,
You just need to
what?
buy these. You need to
Oh,
buy these
shoot.
rations. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to buy these rations to feed it, and you just need to make sure that the ration tier matches the tier of your Moa. So just look for
Holy
whatever.
crap.
Yeah. So and it's just every once in a while. You don't have to do it
Yeah.
like it just will refill this energy bar here that you see that mine's like a third of the way filled. So I eat one of those and it just refills the energy bar. And then the more you ride your Moa, you unlock Moa Bond, which is just like how close you and your Moa are.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
wow.
it gives you little like bonuses. So like the first one is increase your Moa speed by 6. And can use its tier 1 abilities, then strength, which is like how good it is at carrying a wagon. I don't want to get into wagons right now, but they let you
Yeah.
like just put more trade packs on your Moa. Or you can carry more trade packs in a wagon. Yeah, I think I'm ready to hop off. Do you
Yeah.
have like any other
Uh,
questions?
I think that's it. Let me do my little closeout. All right. So, is there anything else just before we go? I just want to make sure.
No, I think
Okay.
I covered it for
All
the
right.
most part. Just play and experience it. If you're gonna clip this or turn this into content, please,
Oh, I will.
loop me in it.
Oh,
Just
I definitely will.
show me. So,
All right.
yeah.
That concludes our session. Thank you, Yvonne. Right? Yvonne.
Yes,
Yvonne.
Yvonne or
All right.
3.
Thank you, Yvonne, for your time. All right, man. And yeah, I really hope that you do start that fresh account and see how you would do it if you start over.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, man.
Okay, maybe I'll do something, even if it's just like the first 30 hours or something.
I wouldn't mind watching that.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you for your time, and you have a
Yeah.
good day.
See you, YouTube. Bye.